Ethan knelt beside her carefully. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The alien girl, Sira, blinked slowly. Her silver eyes were wide with fear. Her skin was pale blue with faint glowing veins running along her arms. Her clothes were torn, dust-covered, and she hugged her knees close like she was protecting herself from the world. "Where is your crew?" Ethan asked softly. Her voice cracked. "Gone. All gone." Ethan knew what that meant. A crash. A fire. No survivors but her. Sira tried to stand but collapsed instantly, her legs trembling. I don't have a home anymore," she whispered. "There is nowhere for me to go." Her voice broke. The glow on her skin dimmed like dying embers. Ethan felt a painful twist in his chest. He had seen many survivors in the Jungyard Desert, but none this young, and none this helpless. He looked around. No shelter. No village. No living structure for miles. Just endless broken scrap under a dark sky. He couldn't leave her here. "You'll stay with me tonight," Ethan said firmly. "You're safe." Sira shook her head weakly. "I don't belong anywhere." Ethan gently placed his jacket around her shoulders. "Then I'll build a place you can belong." She stared up at him, confused. "Build? A home? For me?" He nodded. "With scrap. With anything I can find. As long as you're alive, you don't have to sleep in wreckage." Sira blinked, and for the first time, her eyes filled with tears that glowed faint blue. "You would do that? For someone you don't know?" Ethan smiled softly. "Nobody deserves to be alone in this place." Her voice was almost a whisper. "Thank you, human." The first Anaiji Stera was too weak to walk on her own, so Ethan gently lifted her onto his back. Her faint glow warmed his shoulders as he carried her across the dunes toward his small workshop shelter. The night wind was cold, but Sira's gentle bioluminescence kept a warm halo around them. When they reached Ethan's shelter, a half-buried cargo container converted into a room, Sira stared at it in surprise. "You live here for now," Ethan said with a grin. "It's not pretty, but it's safe." Inside, he laid her on the only clean blanket he had. Sira touched the metal wall lightly. "It feels peaceful." Ethan heated water, gave her a cup, and set a small lantern near her. Sira watched him silently for a long moment. "You don't ask my clan," she said softly. "You don't ask where I came from." "Why?" Ethan shrugged. "Because what matters is where you are now. And right now you need help." Sira lowered her head, touched by the honesty. "Human kindness is strange," she whispered. "It feels warm and confusing." Ethan chuckled. "You'll get used to it." But as he stepped away, Sira suddenly grabbed his sleeve. "Please, don't leave me alone tonight." Her eyes trembled with fear of darkness, fear of silence, fear of losing everything again. Ethan nodded gently and sat near her. "You're not alone." She closed her eyes, finally able to sleep. The next morning, the PRM Eswin morning light entered through the cracks. Ethan was already outside, searching the scrap field with determination. He took metal sheets, old beams, broken solar panels, unused wires, anything that could be shaped into walls, roofs, or supports. He worked until his hands burned and sweat dripped down his back. Sira slowly walked out of the shelter. Still weak but able to stand, she gasped when she saw him. He had already built a wide, metal frame in the sand for connected walls, half raised. Piles of sorted scrap were organized around him. "Human Ethan," she whispered. "You already started?" Ethan smiled without turning. "You need a home, right? Then we build one." Sira stared at him as if he was unreal. "My people would never build something for a stranger," she said quietly. "Why do humans help like this?" Ethan paused, thinking. "Because we know how it feels," he said softly. "To lose everything." Sira looked at the half-built shelter again. Her glowing eyes softened. May I help you? Ethan nodded. Yeah, come here. She walked slowly, touching the metal beams gently. Her glowing fingers caused small lights to run along the metal. What was that? Ethan asked. My energy, Sira said shyly. It strengthens the metal. Makes it lighter. It is a gift from my clan. Ethan grinned. Well then we make a good team. And so they began. Building the scrap HOM, the two worked for hours beneath the golden sun. Ethan lifted heavy beams. Sira used her glowing energy to fuse metal. They combined human strength and alien ability into something new. With every hour, the structure grew. Walls reinforced, roof plates attached. Old pod glass turned into windows. Broken solar wings turned into a power canopy. Metal crates shaped into chairs and shelves. Ethan wiped sweat from his brow. You're doing amazing. Sira shook her head. No. We are doing amazing. They shared a moment quiet. Warm, meaningful dot as the afternoon passed. The shelter slowly transformed into a real home, small but strong. Simple but safe, made entirely from scrap and survival. For Sira, it was more than a shelter. It was the first place she'd ever been truly welcomed. The storm returns, and the test begins just as the last pieces were being attached. The sky darkened. A violent sandstorm began swirling on the horizon. Ethan cursed. Storm's coming fast. Sira's glow dimmed in fear. Human Ethan. The wind is too strong. The shelter, it might collapse. Ethan grabbed her shoulders gently. Not if we finish it. Not if we do it together. Sira stared at him, then nodded with determination. They worked furiously. Ethan hammered supports. Sira fused metal with glowing hands. Wind howled violently around them. Dust blinded their eyes. Metal crashed. The storm roared closer. The ground shook. Finally, just as the first gust smashed into them, the last wall locked into place. Ethan shouted, "Inside now!" They rushed into the new shelter and slammed the door. The storm hit hard. Sand against metal. Wind against walls. Rattling, shaking, roaring. Sira clung to Ethan's arm. I'm scared, she whispered. Ethan placed his hand over hers. You're safe. This home will hold. She stared at him with trembling eyes. You built this. For me. No, Ethan said softly. We built this. For us. Her glow brightened, warming the dark room. The storm raged for hours. But the shelter did not collapse. It stood strong, stronger than anything Ethan had built before. Because this time, he wasn't building for himself. He was building for someone who needed him. After the storm, a new beginning. When the storm ended, a calm silence spread across the desert. Sira stepped outside and looked at the shining new shelter. Scrap metal transformed into a home glowing under morning light. Tears formed in her eyes, soft, glowing tears. Human Ethan, she whispered. I never had a place of my own. Not even on my ship. But you gave me one. Ethan smiled. You deserve one. She took a step closer. No. I deserve nothing. But you still gave me everything. She placed her glowing hand on her chest, her way of expressing deep emotion. I belong nowhere. Except here. With you. Ethan felt something warm inside. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. Sira looked up at the sky, then at him. Then I want to stay. Forever. Ethan's breath caught, surprised. Sira smiled softly. Humans build homes with their hands. But you built mine with your heart. And Ethan realized, he didn't just save her life. He didn't just build her a shelter. He gave her a future she chose to share with him. Together, in a home made of scrap, and a bond made of something stronger.